There are dwarfs, knights, thieves, gods and devils, magic and spells. It's a journey into a land of fantasy.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roleplay or Die for another ShadowDark game. We have some of the usual suspects, but also a new, but not new, Uriah Edwards. How we doing, pal?
What's going on, folks?
Crispy. How are we?
I'm sick as a dog. I'm ready to play.
And Avery.
Glad to be back.
Back home from the east. Good to be home.
Fantastic. Big Bad was going to be here today, but unfortunately, he's dealing with some stuff, so he will be in the next one. But today we have a semi-official module, the Wavestone Monolith, written by Kelsey Dion in 2022. This is a third-level dungeon. We are going to attack it similar to what we did last time. We're going to be using horde rules, a little bit of a homebrew system that we're doing here. Multiple enemies, just Diablo-style hack and slash dungeon crawl. So here we go. We're going to get into it now when you guys are ready. Let's do it. Whispers in the jungle villages speak of a hidden cave behind a great waterfall, deep within the jungle, where a black basalt monolith floats upon a secret lake. It is said that inhuman cries echo from it on moonless nights, and that the gems and treasures of the lost people lie sealed within. The sweltering jungle, close in around you. Curtains and vines, roots hang heavy from the trees, the canopy above choking out the sun. The air is thick and wet, every breath laced with heat and the scent of earth. The cries of distant birds echo through the undergrowth, mingling with the constant drone of insects. And then, through it all, you can hear a faint distant roar of falling water. Take it away.
I stop on this small game path that Cander's been leading us down. I lift the visor of my armor, sweat dripping from my brow. This heat. This blasted heat. Gander, this better be the place. I wipe sweat from my brow on a cloth, tuck it into my belt.
I hold up a gloved finger. Shh. Listen. The sound of the water echoing through the trees. It's up ahead. I wipe some sweat from my brow. Come on, this way. Keep up, Tyrannus.
Taking a clothed forearm and wiping away the sweat, following in behind Candor, I lean over to Kurlask and I say, "In my many travels, I haven't experienced such an oppressive heat as this."
Yeah, it's not what I would call a dry heat. It's like, leave the visor up, take my pole arm over my shoulder. Heavy armored steps, they sink into the soft earth, the jungle floor after Candor. Yeah, I do hear it. Running water ahead.
I look back to Kurlask. Well, you ought to. That tin can of yours probably sounds like the ocean.
You'll
Keep
be
a
thanking
keen
me
eye.
for this tin can before the day is done.
We shall see, my friend. Look around. Keep a keen eye. God knows what's in these woods.
Parrots, macaws flying through the tree line overhead. Into the distance. Screeching.
I thought you'd be at home at this kind of nature, barbarian.
Indeed, I am more at home in nature than I am in the dense parts of the city, but my home in the lands far north are quite a bit colder than these are.
Well, you talk fancy for a barbarian.
I never was quite at home amongst my people. But my ability to speak this language was gathered in the mages' academies after I left.
I spit in the
You-
dirt.
You
Mages.
see, Kurlask, he's one of those learned types. While you and I were busy learning the arts of the blade and the swiftness of the hand, he was off sticking his nose in some books.
Yeah, we were working.
Had better things to do.
I did it so that I can help my people who are suffering a curse that we cannot explain. But I will not get into the details of that now.
No,
Neither do we have the time for it. Come on, let's
you'll
go.
save that for the next campfire, just like the last one. I walk, catching up to Candor.
The brush. Through the brush, faint glimpses of white can be seen. Spray, mist. Ahead. The roar is louder now.
Pulling up the rear behind Kurlask, standing near the edge of a precipice looking over the waterfall, I turn to Candor and say, "Where from here are we supposed to go? Does this match any of the iconography on your maps?"
Face to the sky, breathing in this cool waterfall air. Yep. This is the right direction. Reach and grab a small, hastily scribbled map, piece of parchment. Seems we go around this bend, get up to the top of that cliff there. It should just be over the ledge.
Let me see if I can get a better vantage point. And I stop for a moment to look up into the canopy, looking for a large branch. And spotting one, I pause for a second, eyes glowing. And I dematerialize, rematerializing up on the branch and looking out over the vista.
In the distance, over the canopies, the massive waterfall roaring and crashing into a churning river below.
See
I
Ahead.
take off my helmet.
anything?
I continue to see the way the water winds up the land, and but I see no structures.
I wish you'd warn us next time you do that. I don't think I'm used to this magicking yet. I take some water from the creek rushing by and splash it on my face and hair and put the helmet back on. Looks like this is the place then.
I suppose so. Seeing the subtle mist rising off of the water that Kurlask splashed upon himself. All right, get back down here, Tyrannus. We don't know who's watching.
Coming. And with a similar puff of white smoke reappearing beside Kurlask, a little close just to spook him. What's the matter? Afraid of a diminutive little tribal man?
It's the little ones you have to watch.
Indeed.
Cheeky grin across my face, eyeing the gem atop the staff of Tyrannus. Well, Magic Man, you saw the way to go. I think you're on point now. Tin can behind me.
Taking point with using the staff to aid in his walking, I beckon to follow up the river towards the fountainhead.
I stand. Helmet back on. Pole arm resting on my shoulder as I trundle along, taking up the rear.
On your side of the river, a narrow dirt path can be seen winding towards the great falls ahead. Its edges are slick with moisture. Mist billows thick through the air, nearly hiding a dark cave mouth beyond the spray.
Looks like we've found something behind the waterfall, gentlemen.
I call ahead. Tyrannus, it's too moist in here for torches. Can you do something about this darkness?
Fortunately not. I had an accident with another adventuring party, and in taking some blows from the foe, I have forgotten the ability to conjure light.
Forgotten.
Kander, you have some oil? Wait, it's dark ahead.
Yeah, let
See
me
what we're up
hold
into.
on. I dig around in a pouch, my large sort of burlap sack. I come out with a torch, dump some lantern oil over the top of it, rolling it around. Here, Carlesque, hold this.
I take it.
I with some flint and steel.
Holding it in hand. My other hand steadying the pole arm on my left shoulder. I walk in behind the waterfall.
Beyond the falls, the river continues deeper into the cave on your left.
Clanking on the wet stones. My armored, shod feet echo deeper into the cavern.
I sidle up behind Carlesque. Can you be any louder? Hearing the echoing of the clanging of his plate armor. Give me that thing. I reach for the torch. I'll scout ahead.
Fine, take it.
Grabbing the torch with my other hand, which is ungloved, I traverse deeper into the mouth of the cave.
Following up behind and coming up towards Kurlask, I say, Kurlask, I've got some more tricks for you, but I think you might appreciate having another torch to cast some light. And I kind of lead my staff up against my neck while I reach into my satchel and pull out a torch, and closing my fist around the end of the torch, knuckles glowing slightly, I cause the end of the torch to burst aflame and hand it to Kurlask with a slight smirk.
Hey, neat trick. All right. Evidently, I'm too loud. I whisper hoarsely. Better
Well,
go on ahead. Make sure Kander is honest with what we find.
I'll keep an eye on the thief. And I pass by Kurlask and close up behind Kander.
The light reveals something jutting out of the streaming river. Half toppled, a fallen statue of malachite, of a woman with raised arms, her face a blank mask fringed with worm-like tendrils coming out from the sides. And a jade nautilus glimmers faintly over her heart.
I sidle up to the edge of the water's bank, just crouch down, kind of cock the top of my hood back just the slightest bit, get a closer look, try to get a better view of what's going on.
I pull up beside Kander and, leaning in towards him with my staff and also gazing on the statue, I rack my mind to see if it matches any of the texts I read in the Mages Academy. $11.
Unlike anything seen before.
The shell
my
is
friend.
definitely jade. I'm sorry, you were saying?
No, it does appear to be jade, but this is of some god or some entity that I've never encountered before or read about in any text.
I wonder if I can. I scan the edge of the water, see if any footholds can be found.
The edge. A small boulder below. In the shallows. Under the water.
I walk up to Tyrannus, holding my torch over. What are we looking at here? Just a statue?
Yeah, it appears to be a statue of some deity, most likely, but I'm not sure what. Candor has spied some elements of jade. It looks like he might be trying to climb up.
Could be worth some coin.
I take a step back, look to the others. I think I'm gonna go for it. I pull a length of rope out of my pouch and tie it around myself. Walk over to Kurlask, give him the end.
I pass the torch over to Tyrannus. Hey, hold this.
I reach out and take it from him in my offhand.
One massive arm. Wrap the rope around my forearm. All right, you're good.
Taking
Today-
a running start. Jumping off, trying to hop from the boulder to the...
Success.
Careful to make sure that there's enough slack in the rope.
12.
Success.
Quickly holding on, gripping the sundered arm.
Water flowing by you. Strong.
Grab the jade nautilus and try to pry it off with a gloveless hand.
After a bit of effort.
It's 8.
Stuck.
Just break
Not
it.
Budging.
I call over.
I reach around. Tyrannus, you got anything for me?
I'm not quite sure if I can help you with that. I'm also a little leery of potentially angering any unknown deities, my friend, but let me take a look in my pouch and see if there's anything I got that could help you out.
Well,
Aye.
if you're worried about offending deities, wait until what comes next. I'm trying to make some coin on this venture, Tyrannus, not pay homage to some fake, forgotten, lost god. Candor, why don't you get on back here? If all we were going to get is just a hunk of jade, that's a poor haul. It better be something better than that for all the coin that we paid out to them villagers.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. I shimmying around. I much more carefully hop from the statue to the boulder and then back again to the bank.
I'm sorry, my friend, I didn't have anything for you that would help, but I did find this dagger on one of my travels made of an obsidian, and I think it might help you more than it helps me, and I reach in and hand Candor an extra dagger.
This, I grasp it in my hand. Said, pull out one of my own. Brother and sister. I slide them into 2 scabbards.
Unwinding the rope from my forearm, I pass it back to Candor. Probably need that again. Keep it handy. And I reach for the torch from Tyrannus. I can take that now.
Certainly. Hand it back.
Coil the rope back up. Place it back in my pouch. Well, Shall we?
Let's continue.
After a while, the cave opens into a vast cavern. Beams of light pierce through cracks in the ceiling, glinting off a shallow green lake. At its center rises a massive black stone ziggurat, draped in moss and creeping growth. Ancient steps climb from its submerged base to a malachite-lined entrance waiting at the summit.
Now that is something you don't see quite every day, is it, fellas?
Maybe you folks. I don't know. This is just another Monday for me. Look at that water.
Yeah. Well, since this is routine, Candor, lead the way.
Look back to Kurlask. All right, I will. Sort of a swagger to my step. I continue towards the ziggurat, scanning the skyline.
Stalactites hang from the ceiling.
Seems clear.
I'll spare you some more trickery, Kurlask, and make this journey on foot. And I carefully make my way from stone to stone towards the bottom of the ziggurat, wading through some of the water.
I
Water
pause
shallow.
at the edge of the water as Tyrannus wades in, looking at the color of this greenish-hued water suspiciously. Visor still lifted on my helmet.
I don't know if that's okay, Tyrannus. I peer into the water, searching for any movement, any life, anything of that sort.
Water is still.
Sorry.
Approaching
Ooh.
the bottom of the ziggurat, completely fixated on it and ignoring potential danger, I start scanning the stone for etchings and runes and hieroglyphs.
Strange ammonite fossils can be seen embedded in the stonework.
What are you seeing, Tyrannus?
I don't see any writings, but I do see strange dead things made of stone embedded into the very construction of the ziggurat itself. They look like shells.
We're not going to be selling shells. I wade into the water after Tyrannus to reach the bottom of the steps of the ziggurat.
Water is shallow, waist high.
Talk about a seashore. I take a few steps back from the edge of the bank, attempting to make a running jump, trying to get as far through the water as I can. 21.
Success. Leaping far into the lake, just reaching near the first step.
I curse. Ah! Come on. It's going to take forever to get out.
You're spry. I like it. Reminds me of my days of my youth, my misspent youth. You know, leaping from building to building. Won't be doing that wearing all this armor, I'll tell you that much. It's like clang up the steps. Hey, Tyrannus, I can carry that torch. You want to carry this torch for a bit? I need 2 hands for this work. Pass the torch over.
Looking caught off guard, stirred from a reverie. Yes, of course. Continue looking intently at the fossils in the stone as I grab the torch.
Now both hands free, I properly hold my pole arm, which I use as a bit of a makeshift staff, climbing the steps towards the summit.
Hop up onto the the first step of the ziggurat. Tyrannus, come on, get out of that muck. I don't like the look of this.
Reluctantly, and while continuing to look at the fossils with great curiosity, finally pulling myself away, I continue up the steps towards Candor.
Squeezing some moisture from the black cloak that I wear. Being very careful to not expose skin.
Water issues out from my greaves and over my shod feet as the suit of full plate drains of the water that I was wading through, now making my way up the ziggurat. I look behind me. All right, Candor. This is definitely the place. Hopefully we're not the last ones to the party.
Sure hope not. And if we are, I hope nobody else is stuck around to wait for us here. I reach into my pouch, pull out the last little bit of lantern oil, and pass it to Kurlask. Here. There's no way you're getting through this without rusting, so go ahead and apply that. As I continue past him.
I look at the lantern oil, toss it towards Tyrannus. Hey, catch.
Reaching up, grabbing it out of the air, I take a moment to look at it and kind of shrug at Kurlask and put it into my pouch. Thanks.
I turn. No time for maintenance yet. Maybe later. I was just thinking of your trick, setting things ablaze. That might come in handy.
Yes, that may come in handy. Good thinking, Kurlask.
That way they don't pay me for the thinking. If we're working on that, then we're in big trouble. As I turn.
Maybe you should charge them extra.
Yeah. We're in big trouble.
I press onwards up the ziggurat, inching ever closer to the opening.
Finally at the summit. An archway. Large. Covered with ancient fossils. 2 stand out on the right side of the opening. Their surfaces polished smooth. Beyond the archway, damp, dark stairs descend into darkness within.
I holler back. Wait. Some looks fishy. Never mind.
What you're seeing, Candor?
I stop.
I walk
wave
up
Tyrannus forward.
I walk over to the 2 shells that have been polished. Take a closer look, inspecting for traps, devices, things of that sort.
Roll.
12.
The surface looks like any other fossil, just as if it had been touched far more and weathered over time.
I don't think it's a trap. Maybe it's some sort of ritual.
A ritual, you say? Continuing up the steps to where Candor is standing, simple leather shoes squishing slightly as they haven't been wrung out with water. Where is this? Show me.
I gesture to the two shells that are almost polished clean. It's almost like how how a brass doorknob will be not patinaed. It seems like a lot of people have been touching it.
Well,
And
I clang up the stairs. When I hear that a lot of people touching it, I put my hand forward. With gauntleted fingers, I touch the shell. When waiting for something to happen.
Just the echo and dripping and lapping of water in the room.
What are we waiting around for? The hallway's down there. This isn't a shell expedition, is it?
I don't
We
think
need
so.
the treasure.
It just worries me what's down there.
Well, you can always wait here, but we'll have to dock your take.
On your life. I go through the archway.
I step through the threshold right after.
following the other two with a lingering look at the touched shells, I continue after the group.
Candor. Dexterity check.
11.
The fifth step down betrays your feet. Sinking down, clanking, grinding stone as you hear as the stairs recede quickly to a slope as you all begin sliding downward to darkness, rapidly.
Son of a...
I fall to my backside, keep my feet down, facing the floor. Pole arm now, using it as a brace, trying to keep my orientation so my feet hit first. Look up to see Tyrannus above me.
One hand clutching the staff close to his chest, or close to my chest, and the other scrambling for some sort of purchase. I slide on my back, down after Kurlask.
I flip to my stomach, trying to claw my way back up. Anything to impede the sliding.
Finally, slamming to a stone floor and rolling to the darkness. 3 bludgeoning damage each.
Rolling off of a stone and pressing against my back, I sit myself up. Is everyone okay?
I stand up, look behind me, offer a hand to Tyrannus to stand.
Coughing, the wind knocked out of him. Nodding
Hey.
as he reaches a thankful hand up to Kurlask.
I pull the little wizard to his feet. There you go. Put your hand behind your head. Yes, yes, like that. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. There you go.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
That was
My
fun.
hands,
We should do that again.
my hands scrambling on the ground, looking for the torch. Seeing the faint glow of it on the ground. Pick it up. Oh, come on.
The torchlight emanating a dark room, slick, echoing chamber, black walls covered in spiraling fossils. They glisten with water and moisture, and the musk, stagnant water smell, sweetness of rot permeates the air. Multiple dark passageways extend out on either side of the room.
Which way? I gesture with the head of my pike towards the entranceways.
I count the number of exits in the room.
Two can be seen. The torchlight also reveals slight movement on puddles in the floor. Small, tiny slugs inching away from the light.
Look at this. Begin to approach them. The heck are these things? Tyrannus, you're a big brain.
Wincing and rubbing my neck, I come up beside Candor and seeing the slugs kneel down, peering at them, trying to recollect any sort of biology or mystical creatures that I learned about. 18.
These slugs are known to potentially produce vitality to those who consume them, or horrible sickness.
I do recall learning about some form of slug-like creature that, similar to a fungus, you consume them, and the right ones will provide healing, they'll provide wellness, and the wrong ones will bring about ruin.
I walk up in behind, hearing the explanation from Tyrannus. Wait, you're not going to eat one of those things, are you? I look down, the slithering things. I take the end of my pike and skewer one of them.
I
Does that
spit
look
one out of my
appetizing?
mouth. No. That's no.
Barbarians.
I'm not confident enough to eat this.
But it looks so good. I bring the head of the pike close to my face, sniffing at the skewered slug on the end of it. Yum. Just like Mom used to make. Taunt Tyrannus with it.
Kind of sneer and recoil back. This is nothing like what my people would eat.
Stand on my feet. Well, if we're finished teasing the wizard, why don't we start getting through this place?
I flick the slug off the end of my pike, splatting it against the shell walls.
I shake my head slightly after looking at Kurlask and turn my attention back to the walls, looking at the shell-like shapes.
Trembling can be heard. You felt the ground echoing from both chambers on either side. Something loud, something coming fast.
Look alive. We've got company.
Finally, slap the visor down on my helmet. Turn around.
I scan the room quickly, looking for an egress or another place to hide.
Both hands gripping my staff, my tattoos on my chest glow softly as a small shimmer of force disrupting the air appears around me.
The only passageway.
I found a small clump of shadow in one corner, surrounded by fallen stone and hide. 23.
Success. Charging into the room. Humanoid shapes. Many. A horde of them. Naked. Swollen, waterlogged figures, nautiloid, cephalopod-like heads, lumbering into the room, searching. They turn. They see Kurlask. They charge. Arms raised, ready to attack.
Tyrannus, are these edible? I say as I set my pike against their charge and lean my 6'5" frame into it. Bring it on! Drive the pike towards the charging creatures. 8.
Failure.
Their slimy bodies flow around the pike, closing to near distance to me. They're slippery!
Tyrannus or Kander.
No, Kurlask, I don't think these are edible. And I step away back from the creatures, planting my staff as the tattoos on my arm grow a brilliant cyan and a bolt erupts from the palm of my hand, smashing in to the horde, causing the shell-like head of one of them to burst.
From the shadows, both blades at the ready, I run along a row of these creatures, attacking with surprise.
Success. The
9 of them go down, one after the other.
chewing through nearly half of the horde. The remainder charge in and swarm, surrounding you all. Striking Tanaris for 4. Kander for 4. Claws.
I slither off my plate armor. I use the opening, reverse grip on my pike, and I spin it at head level, swinging at the horde around. 19.
Success.
7 of them take vicious blows, shattering their nautilus shells on their heads, spilling gore all over them.
Guts everywhere. 3 now remain, backing up.
Don't let them escape.
I
Tyrannus,
push after.
put them down.
Come on, Tyrannus. We'll finish them off together. As I push after them.
Limping slightly, bloody gashes down his chest. I follow after Kander.
Both blades lifted up. Stab them down towards one of the creatures. Hitting the shelly head, the hard calcified shell. One of the blades snaps. Throw it. Tyrannus, help!
Coming up beside Kander, tattoos flashing a cyan again as the palm arches, fingers extended, bolts erupting out.
Success.
Piercing through 3 of the remainder. Slow disintegration from the center of their chest where the arcane blast passed through.
Falling dead to the ground. Heaps of bodies now all around you. Splintered shells and goo and guts. Pooled on the floor. The horde is vanquished.
I walk from one corpse to the next, making sure they're dead by planting my pike into each one, watching for any motion. I stop next to one puddle where some of these slugs are. I look over at Tyrannus, reach down, pick up the slug, toss it to him. You know what? Maybe you do want to try this.
Breathing heavily, falling to a knees, blood drips down my chest. I catch the slug out of the air and pop it in my mouth.
Go for 2.
Breathing, steadying, blood, bleeding, slowing. This was one of the good slugs.
Walking over, putting the one remaining dagger away. Tell me there's a way to tell these things apart. So I hold 2 in my hands now.
I look carefully at the slugs he's holding and thoughtfully recollect, trying to remember the distinction between the slugs. Oops. Friend, I don't even remember what they're called.
Just eat it.
I'm not even sure that they're a living being. In fact, they might just be an animated plant. Who knows what they are?
Hate to interrupt this interesting conversation, but these things came from somewhere. They were immediately hostile. I think we should assume there are more. I point down from where they came from. I say, attack.
I pop the left one into my mouth. Choke it down.
Suddenly, the urge to vomit overcomes you, growling in your stomach.
I turn off to one side. You go ahead. And I begin to retch in one corner.
I could have sworn that was the right one.
I walk up behind Candor and clap him on the back. That's all right. Just let it all out. You see, he grew up in the barbarians, right? They eat all sorts of stuff. You can't drink from that water that they can drink from. Give you the runs.
A final chunk of the snail juts out. Oh, thank you, Kurlask. Attack. Let's go.
Wait. I reach into my belt and pull out a small flask. Take a swig of this. Clear that taste from your mouth. Ugh.
Take a swig. Almost immediately.
Yeah, it's strong. Put hair on your chest. Make an honest man of you yet, Candor. I take the flask back. Take a small pull. A fire in the veins. I put that back in my belt.
Through coughing, the whites of my eyes grow red with strain, and my pupils thin and return to normal.
Well, the longer we wait, the more they'll gather reinforcements. Tyrannus, you still have that torch.
Yes. Here. I look around. I had it. Damn it. Well, I have a spare, and I reach into my pouch and taking a spare torch out, igniting it with the palm of my hand, handing it back to Kurlask.
I take the torch in the one hand and hold my pike with one hand in the other. Say, if we get company, I gotta drop this torch. pike's not effective with one hand.
I gesture, say, give it to me. I can
All right,
fight with one hand.
We're wasting time. And I toss the torch over to Candor.
Catch it and... Well, come on then. We got 1 or 2.
I say
Which
we
one?
go in the passage where these things came from.
I agree.
Frontal
I also
attack.
agree. They came from somewhere.
I start walking down the passageway that they came from, stepping on the corpses, paying no heed or respect to the dead.
Dark
Follow
passage
after.
extends on for a little while. Damp, narrow, moist.
Candor. You wouldn't happen to see any more telltale sign of trap, would you?
I scan the walls.
Trap. They just walked by here. What are you talking about? I pick up the pace. Quick. Start light jog forward.
He's got a point, Tyrannus.
If
The
you
passage.
insist, and I keep up the jog with the other 2.
The passage suddenly ends, opening to a vaulted chamber, heavy with the stink of stagnant water. A deep, broad pool of still green water lies at its center with a rusted grate just below the surface on the pool's wall. The pool's walls lined with shimmering tiles of lapis lazuli and malachite, and beyond the pool, a pair of heavy stone double doors loom.
Well, well,
I stop.
well.
Stop at the edge of the pool. Point towards the double doors. All right.
What do you think it could be? Sort of kneeling down in the edge of the pool, looking at the tiles of lapis and malachite.
It could be a salon for those things that came at us. I care not. I see very little of value here. I say we press on. That closed door intrigues me.
I walk up to the edge of the pool and look intently down, trying to ascertain where the bottom is.
Murky. Dark. Not much can be seen.
Kurlesk, take that pike of yours, see how deep this thing is.
All right. I take the pike, holding it near its head. I put the butt of the pike into the water and drop it down.
No bottom can be felt.
Too deep for me. I bring up the pike, running the leather of my inside of my gauntlet around along the shaft of the pike to take the water off.
What if
I
you
won't
think
be
they came
swimming.
from the pool itself and not from beyond those doors?
That seems reasonable to me. But I'm not going swimming.
I'll walk over to the door, searching the ground for any disturbance, any sign of foot traffic back or forth. Uh, 18.
No evidence of foot traffic. But a strange water-like globule could be seen around the seams of the door at its base. Like pooling water at its base.
I think there's something behind this door. Tyrannus, what do you make of this?
Let me see. Kurlask, keep a keen eye on this pool in case we have any more visits from those fishmen.
All right.
I walk over to Candor and kneel down and take a look at the globules he sees, reaching a tentative finger out to touch it gently. Four.
Cool. Water. But not. The feel of water. But not wet.
I bring my fingers close, rubbing them together, sniffing them, tasting them even. As far as I can tell, this is water, but it leaves a strange sensation on the hand as if I had touched sand. Like there's no moisture in it at all.
How is that even possible? I stand up. Kurlask, you see anything?
I look into the murky water. 17.
The water stirs for a second.
There's something down there disturbing the surface. I don't like it. I say we move on quickly. Let's not linger here.
Sloshing. Then
All right. I
calm.
inspect the handle of the door, the opening mechanism. Uh, 13.
Simple door. Simple handle. Can be
Look
pushed.
to the others. Pressing in.
Arms pressing. Passing through what appears to be a large wall of water. A barrier of sorts.
I step back from this, surprised by this wall of water. But remembering the texture, take a hand and tentatively try and push a hand through the wall.
And passes through these. Cool. On the other side.
I think we might be able to just pass through this. This may just be a mirage.
Some trickery.
My eyes track the disturbance in the pool. Now it's gone. Or at least I see it not. What's the story? Are we leaving?
I think we should. This door. It's not real. It's not actual. Both arms still in. I continue to press in till my face pushes through.
On the other side, a hushed chamber where sound feels drowned as if underwater. Light bends strangely. Ahead, 6 statues, like the ones at the falls, stand as pillars, all turned inwards toward a towering idol at the center. A limestone woman statue with the head of a tentacled nautilus. Her features worn smooth with age. Fossils cover her body. Her outstretched hands are cupped in the front. Just beyond, a passageway leads further in.
I lean back out. I can't hear. Whatever this substance is, it's like water, but it's not. You all should come see this.
Water, but it's not. I follow up behind a Candor and also tentatively place my face through the shimmering veil and look around. and returning my face out, I furrow my brow as I try and recollect any sort of magic that would cause an effect like this. 15.
No spell in your mind comes to mind.
I
To
cannot
mimic
think.
this.
I cannot think of any magic that is known to me, or the academies in which I studied, that would produce an effect like this.
I shuffle along the edge of the pool, keeping my back to the wall till I get to where the two have just stuck their heads into the water, and I walk boldly through the threshold into the room beyond. What is this?
I looked at
Unholy. This stinks of cult.
Tyrannus. We should go.
Agreed.
Follow him.
And I follow after Candor.
Passageway
into the-
beyond.
I walk
In
into the
the-
passageway beyond towards these statues. These are worthless.
In the space, I feel around the air, trying to determine if it's breathable. I take a slow breath.
Air. Crisp. As if standing out above water. No difference.
I speak. Tyrannus, it's safe to breathe. My voice sounding like muffled underwater speech. Distant.
Tentatively sipping the air, and then more gradually inhaling and breathing out, I tentatively walk up to the statues and look them up and down and look around the base, searching for any sort of inscription and any sort of writing. 20.
No writing can be seen, but a voice can be heard whispering in your mind. Tribute.
Gentlemen, I've just heard a voice speak in my mind. I believe the statue or the god or whatever demands a tribute, or more gently asks a tribute. But of what, I can't say.
I lift the visor of my helm. What? You guys were worried to not be able to breathe? You didn't warn me? Breathing is actually kind of cool, finally. What is this about tribute, Tyrannus? We're not here to pay alms to these things. We're here for money.
I can't say. It's a mysterious thing. I noticed this writing, this ancient writing, and as my eyes scanned the markings, a voice in my mind spoke the word tribute.
Tribute.
I walk
Distinctly
up to
not
the.
my own thoughts.
I walk up to the the statue with outstretched arms, and with a coin in hand, I say, a gold coin, I say, this is not the greatest alms in the world. It is just a tribute. I place the coin into her open hands.
The room trembles, as if trembling underwater. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Critical.
An urge quickly glanced over your mind and faded. Dark urge.
Time becomes meaningless for a moment, and the moment feels like an eternity. I snap back to reality. These are dark powers at work. I just envision myself elbow deep in Tyrannus's dead carcass.
That's enough for me. I take my pike overhand, and with two hands, I aim at the open palm of the center statue to shatter. As I bring the pike down. The pike hits the statue and chips the blade, bouncing off. Ugh. Just need a hammer.
The room tremors again. On the other side of the statues, towards the far end passageway, shadows rushing hurriedly towards you.
Looks like I've offended them, boys. Bring it!
More not-aligned berserker.
Snap the visor down.
Charging into the water. Like the water-like environment.
I slink back, attempting to hide behind one of the statues as they enter in. One of the far statues.
I leap towards the threat, laughing as I do.
That's 15.
Success.
A 10 on my swing. Lead Nautilus group.
Failure.
Again, they slip past. Under the extreme range of the pike. Up closer.
Seeing the nautiloids rush into the room, I look up to the statue and leg tattoos glowing that cyan color. I disappear in a puff and reappear standing atop the statue's head.
The nautiloids now.
The dagger, I've tied it to the end of the stretch of rope that I have. I come around the corner and begin to swing it over my head in a swiping motion, making a massive attack at these nautiloids. Critical.
Double dice.
For 17 plus 15.
The swinging, passing through the crowd, striking down the enemies one by one, successfully cleaving down the entire horde as it was caught off guard entering the room. Guts and shell splinters everywhere, bodies fallen.
I slowly lift the visor of my helm, look over at Candor. What was that?
Pull the blade and catch it.
You should do that every time. I look up at Tyrannus on top of the statue. What are you doing up there?
Or do you think I'm going to fist fight these things?
Oh, that's right. Well, at least now we know where to go. I look down at the passageway where these things came from. Or do we still hang out here with this statue and its ill intent?
Put the blade back in the scabbard. Hold on. Walk over to the decapitated head of one of these creatures and I pick it up. Tyrannus, you want to hop down from there?
I, clambering down carefully along the statue, I turn to the group. I say, I want to try one more thing, and I take a flask of water out, of drinking water, and I unspool it and I pour a little bit across its hands.
Nothing happens.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure it wasn't some water-related chicanery.
The water.
Seems we
Moves
had
off to the
similar
ground.
ideas. I carry the Nautilus head, place it in the hands, the shell.
Wisdom saving throw. The urge to drown yourself comes over you as you begin to lose control of your body, walking back towards the pool in the previous room.
I, compelled by some force, suddenly break out into a sprint, bursting through the door.
Hey, where's he going? Tyrannus, where's he going?
I don't know. It looked like he was overcome. Like,
Stop him! Just run after Candor.
turn and follow and running.
Crazed splashing, and I am filling my mouth with water.
I run up behind Candor. With one gauntleted fist, I grab the back of his cloak, and I heave him out of the pool of water where he's stuck his head in. A 17 strength check.
Successful.
I run up beside the prone Candor and look over him, and press on him, attempting to get the water out of his lungs. "17.
Water sprays out. The urge subsides from Candor.
Have you lost your mind?
The view of my tongue, thinner than a human's. My eyes, their pupils, now slits, slowly come back to normal. What?
The water begins to roil violently in the pool.
Great.
What's
Black
happening?
tails can be seen lashing out. Suddenly, the sides of the pool. Black, slug-like, leech-like creatures, large, as big as a cat, crawling out from the sides.
What's happening?
I drag Candor by the back of his cloak back through the double doors. Looks like you woke up the pond. Good going. Stepping back into the altar room.
Tens of leeches crawling out slowly, slinking along in your direction.
Clambering to my feet. Tyrannus! What's going on? What happened?
Follow Kurlask now! As I
make
tuck
chase.
my staff under my arm and put my hands together. And I slam my hands down to the ground, fire erupting out from around me.
Success.
Cooking the slugs, singeing them and throwing them back a little bit, but not killing them.
One erupts into a burst of flame, the rest recoil from the sight of flames.
I see the recoiling of the slugs from the flames. Hey, toss me that torch again. Who's got the torch?
I reach into Tyrannus's pouch, grab the torch sticking out from the top. Here! Toss it to Kurlask.
I catch it in one hand, pole arm in the other. I step forward, waving the torch at these slugs.
They recoil, shrinking, pushing back towards the pool, the side of the flame.
Wish I had some salt as I wave the torch in front. Tyrannus, keep an eye behind, lest we get more of those nautiloids.
I will.
Let's
Keep
push
my
forward.
eyes fixated behind us. Walking backwards.
As the slugs sink back into the pool, satisfied, I turn back towards the statue room.
Now in the statue room, I'm scanning around, looking at the doorway past the statues. I holler back to the others. Come on! We need to keep going.
I throw a cautionary gaze continuing behind us and then turn and follow after Kandra's voice.
Catching up to Tyrannus, I lean over and pass him the torch so I can get both hands on the pike. And then follow Kandra down the passageway from whence the nautiloids came.
Passageway goes on for a while. Suddenly a large, damp chamber again. Just unveiling by the light. It's filled with various pools. On the far wall, a passage is blocked by rusted metal bars. The walls show carvings of people twisting into humanoid cephalopods, their features warping step by step.
I walk up to the carvings, gazing at them intently, trying to decipher their meaning. 8.
What sort of sorcery is this?
Anyone see any gems? This is not worth the risk so far. As I walk into the room, look at the pools of water. Don't like the look of those.
Objects floating, large, in the pools, just below the surface.
What do you see, Kurlask?
I walk up to the edge of one of the pools, and I gaze down to the murky water. Tyrannus, bring that torch over so we can shed some light on this. There's something here in the water.
I take the torch, I reach out for the torch from Cantor and, taking it, walk over to Kurlask, shining it down at the pool.
Just below the shallow pool, bodies, humans, not fully developed. Tentacles growing from where their mouths once were. Their brains, their heads, their craniums turned to strange, shell-like skulls. They twitch.
Abomination. I reverse my pike and start stabbing the forms in the pool, sending the head of the pike through their bodies as they float.
Blood starts to pool in the basin, cloudying the water. The bodies thrashing and goes lifeless.
I stare aghast at Kurlask. What are you doing? What if they could have been helped?
These things. Help what? These same things. They're warping. Look at. We know what they become. If we had a chance to kill them before they become a threat, then we should. By the four gods.
And if we have a chance to save them before they turn entirely, does it not make sense that we would do the same thing?
I stop stabbing into the water, destroying these things.
bright red, murky water now.
I lean on the staff, bits of gore still attached to the pike's head. So what do you want to do, Candor? Fish one of these creatures out and see what happens? I wouldn't trust that water if I were you.
I looked at Tyrannus. What do you make of this?
I think your intentions are noble, Candor, but I think Kurlask is right on this. I can't think of any magic that I know that would cause this, and I have no idea how we would help them. And even if we were to fish them out, how would we get them back? I think it's better to destroy a foe before it can destroy us at this moment.
Peering at the ground, I look back up, nod solemnly. You're right. I step away, peering at the walls, looking at the carvings, looking for any gemstones, any sort of valuables inset.
I move to the next pool, peering into the water, looking for more creatures to destroy.
12.
Gander. More fossils embedded in the wall.
I pull out the dagger, begin to try to start chipping away to pry loose one of these fossils. I might have a friend that I can sell these to. He's a book smart type. Might be interested in something like this. It's 19.
Success.
Pry one loose. Pack it away.
Kurlask. More bodies. Twitching in the water. Similar to the last pool.
There's no great glory in this, Tyrannus. I lift the visor of my helm, shake my head. But it is a mercy we do, not for pleasure. And then I plunge the pike into the pool, stabbing these poor souls in the midst of their torment and their transition into nautiloids.
Blood fills the water as their bodies twitch and in their death throes and then go limp.
I nod gravely at Kurlask's words, then pause for a moment and say, Kurlask, can you retrieve one of the bodies from the pools?
Grunting as I stab each of the bodies, send the pike through the guts of one, and then I leverage it off the edge of the pool, bring it up out of the water, depositing it on the wet stones next to the pool.
Blood pooling into the cracks in the stone.
I kneel down next to the body and look over its whole form, looking at its clothing, and I try and search for any sort of indication as to where they're from. 11.
Necklaces can be seen around their necks. Necklaces worn by locals of the nearby tribes.
It seems that these are people from around the area. Have you heard any reports in the towns of people going missing?
Well, yeah. Several of them said that. There's so many.
Looks like we found them.
I would creep
Seems
over.
organized.
I creep over to the other side of the room. I find a table laid out with various different plants and herbs and jars of different materials. Tyrannus, come take a look at this.
Go on.
Standing up from the corpse, I fall over to where Candor is and gaze over the table of herbs and try and make sense of what I'm seeing. 18. I do recognize some of these things from my studying. This is some alchemy, but just not a common form.
Seems almost eldritch.
It does.
I move to the third pool and continue my grisly work. This time, though, after skewering a hapless victim, I lever them out of the pool, deposit them next to it. They're lifeless corpses.
I start to thumb through.
Torch begins to flicker.
Bring that over closer to me, Tyrannus.
Yeah, man.
Tyrannus, the light. Watch
I
out.
bring it closer to Candor, quickly, holding out the dwindling torch.
I pull my final torch from my pack, trying to light it from the last few burning embers. It's close.
Turning back from Candor and the torch, I continue to look out over the table with the herbs, looking for documents and perhaps writings about what was being done. 20.
Paperwork, books, scrolls, all strewn about. A language, incomprehensible, but images, much like on the wall. Humanoid forms, measurements, clearly a science.
Friends, I don't know if this tells us more than what we've already known, but clearly they've been taking people and using some sort of dark alchemy to transform them into these monstrous creatures that we see.
Who's they?
I continue scanning through the documents to look for some sort of note of authorship. 18.
The name Claxel, in common, signed at the bottom of one of the papers.
The only name I see here is for Claxel. I've not heard that name. Have any of you?
Last grunt, I take the last corpse out of the pool. No, doesn't ring a bell.
It's unfamiliar to me.
Ground trembles again. The gate, rusted gate at the end of the room, shudders and slowly begins to grind down into the ground, lowering, opening the passageway. The trembling gets louder.
I
Slap the
quickly
visor down.
I quickly gather what appear to be the most important documents and shove them in my pouch.
the rest of the table flung as I knock it over and hide behind it.
Hardly. Success. Hurriedly through the corridor, passing through more nautiloids, now more than ever, swarming into the room, thrashing, growling, grunting.
This is it! I move. Don't let them push you into those pools. Nothing good will come from that. I swing the pike in an arc at the horde as it approaches. 10. Again. Failure. It's dim in here. They're getting past me.
Gander.
Once again, dagger tied to the end of the rope. I begin to swirl it around and standing up, swinging it in a large arc around trying to strike as many as I can. Ten.
Failure. Creatures bouncing off the shells.
Going overhead. Well, they know where I'm at now.
Tyrannus.
I, jumping back from the oncoming horde, extend my palm out again, tattoos flashing. 14.
Success.
The blazing bolt extending out, a brilliant cyan, shooting through like a possessed arrow the chests of 4 of the nautiloids, dropping them.
The nautiloids quickly fill the gap of the fall and charging into Tanaris. Now, actively surrounding all of you. Tanaris. 1 swings. Another swings, slashing you for 7.
Tyrannus!
Screaming out in pain.
Kander and Kurlask managing to deflect the blows.
I parry a strike from one of them, and with a thrusting of the dagger, I stab towards one of the creatures. The blade, again, breaks, and I throw it into the crowd.
17 as I swing the pike again. This time, 8 nautiloids catch the deadly pole arm. Blood fountains from their bodies as they fall.
Again, the horde lifelessly almost charging forward to close the gap. Tanaris.
Spitting blood, knocked to his knees and bleeding profusely from more gashes on his chest, he calls out, blood flying. Brace yourselves! Hands together, slamming it onto the ground, glowing red. As sparks sputter out and fail, more blood pouring from his mouth.
Tyrannus!
No.
I run behind him, getting side by side. I take off the glove on the one hand, and scales go all up my hand, and sharp claws on the end, and I strike out at one of them. It's a 14.
Success.
Slicing 2 of them across the chest as they fall.
More charging forward. The horde thinning, but still mass. Unable to break through your defenses as they swarm, slashing and hacking, and you all deflect and guard.
Stay behind me, I call. As I swing the pike again. I'm going to use luck. 11.
Bouncing off the shells. Deflected by swatting, clawed arms, unable to break through.
I roar.
Tyrannus! Tyrannus, get out of here! You must flee!
On his back now, scrambling backwards from the horde. Holding his hands out again in that O shape. A look of fear on his face. 20.
Success.
5 of the nautiloids catching flame and melting in front of the rest. And flame washing over Kander and Kurlask.
The
creatures.
flame searing, the smell of burning flesh. Watch where you're doing that.
The Nordaloids thrashing continuously. At each of you. 6 damage to Kurlask, 6 to Kander. Tyrannus still away from the horde from where he just singed the group. Closing in now towards you to close the gap.
I fall to the ground unconscious.
I, taking a wicked claw to the face, I am knocked unconscious, head bouncing off the floor, bleeding.
Or did you bastard? You led me into this. 23.
Success.
Oops. 4 Nautiloids drop. And I move towards the fallen allies. Backing up.
They swarm forward over the bodies of the fallen. Kander, Tyrannus, make dying saves.
Fail.
It's probably a failure.
Failure.
It was a 5.
Failure. The Nautiloids close over, charging towards Kurlask. They begin ravaging down at the bodies of Kander and Tyrannus. Slashing for 8. Killing them instantly.
I lose my helm. It goes flying. Desperate now. I swing one last time. Blood now pouring through my gauntlets. The pike is slick. I lose grip. It falls. I lose it in the crowd. I take out the dagger in my belt.
Innumerable enemies hoarding. Kander and Tyrannus can no longer be seen in the crowd. Charging forward, they lash at you. Unable to catch you as they pour around.
Seeing no escape, I turn. In the horde, slashing with my dagger at the bodies around. Killing one, then losing my dagger in its body. Now unarmed, just gauntleted fists. Refusing to surrender.
Swarming around. Again, slashing. Unable to break the fence. Blocking with your gauntlet fists.
I swing fists. 15.
Success.
And then pulping the shell head of one of the Nautiloids. I look down and see my pike. I desperately lunge for the pike. 12.
Success.
Grabbing it,
nautiloids, now swinging ravenously at you. Slashing at you at all angles, clawing you in the back and the front, 6 damage.
I disappear under the onslaught. One final cry. As I perish.
As the ravenous horde mutilates and rips apart the corpses of the fallen. We'll end it there.
I would say so.
We have
Darn tootin'.
Well,
We got absolutely overwhelmed.
yeah. I wonder if I. Well, the rolls were definitely that we're not
I
on your
just couldn't hit
side.
anything. I was like, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Like each combat, your first hit in each combat was just an utter fail, which was tremendous.
Brutal.
You had that
insane.
one moment where you like went ham and wiped an entire like horde.
Yeah. You talking about me?
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
That was crazy.
That was awesome. Oh man, I mean that
So
was
how,
fun.
How much of this module
was
did we get
cool.
through? Did we even get to the?
You were at the final room.
Oh, is that the final room? Okay.
You yeah, you'd have to have passed that horde, and then there was an end boss, basically.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We needed a fourth guy.
Yeah.
Probably a
we did.
fourth. Yeah.
Yeah, that cleric
Um,
would have come in clutch.
Oh, 100%. Dude, it's
Yeah.
funny. Like last night's group, they didn't bring a cleric either, and
Ooh.
somehow they got through it. They were just rolling really well,
Mm.
and yeah, I mean, they got somehow the rolls were just on their side, you know. But it's funny. Like I got to a point. Like I wonder if like in the horde mechanics at the end there, like was that kind of a drag where you guys were just kind of like chipping away, or was it exciting? Like I don't. How could we change it if it was?
I mean, it didn't feel like it took that much time, honestly.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
And then like
it-
overall, like you know, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it certainly added to the whole, the sort of cinematic aspect of it, where we're just
Yeah.
mowing down these
Mhm.
massive groups of enemies. Like the fact
Yeah.
that I did, however much it was like 27 some odd, like 30 plus damage in one turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically turning into a food processor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's funny because when we first did ShadowDark the first time,
Mhm.
Uriah, I wanted to do stuff like this because, and it's still a work in progress for anybody who's watching
Sure.
this after the fact. It's well, obviously after the fact. We're recording.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress that like I kind of felt like I got very tired of the tedious D20 health pool system. So I was like,
Yes.
well, how do you make that more fun for the player?
Yeah.
Obviously like easy D6, like it allows you to just, it's similar. It's kind of similar with the strikes, right? So, which is awesome. Like, how do you kind of bring that in and hybrid it here?
Right.
It's and it's a lot of effort and work to figure out, okay, well, I think the more we do it, the
Mhm.
better we're going to get at like describing. And it's funny because I know in the beginning we said, okay, we're going to do, you guys do the failures, I'll do the successes.
Yeah.
There were moments where you guys did both. And then there were moments
Yep.
where I just jumped in and I did, either or, practice anymore, just as we do it,
Yeah.
I'll get more practice with that. But it was the module was cool. It's funny playing an official module. I haven't done one really in a while. So
Sure,
you
yeah.
actually, and one of the things I did want to do is I didn't want to deviate too much because I wanted
Yeah.
to see, okay, like let's see if we could do this right without having to deviate and change too much. That some of the rooms from my end as the GM, I know it's different for the players, but from my end I felt like I want to do something. I want to push. But I'm
Yeah.
like, well, they're in the room they're supposed to be in that they're in right now, and like they're doing their thing. They decided to go there, and I know what's going on in the room, and I'm just gonna facilitate that. And I was doing my rolls for my random table in the background.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So you guys definitely got some random hordes in there.
Mhm.
And the torch timer went at one point.
Mhm.
But I was trying to leverage as much as I can of how ShadowDark operates.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but you guys, your characters were awesome. Okay, first of all, loved it.
Yeah.
You guys were great. I wanted to give you guys some more time. Like last time, I definitely rushed on the into like the adventure, and I was like, let me just take a step back, let you guys just
Right.
talk to each other, and you guys did awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
That was
so cool.
something. That was something I was definitely conscious about. Was because I'm the type of person, I really like those character to character conversations, sort of
I do
things
too,
that
yeah.
can get a bit draggy as you go along. So I'm like thinking about it as I'm going. Like, okay, is this conversation lending itself to what is happening right now in the moment? And
Mhm.
if it feels like, okay, we're just kind of spinning our wheels, how can I either
Sure.
toss it to someone else or kind of move it along? If that makes sense.
Of course. Personally, I don't think you guys had moments like that. I think you
Hmm.
guys were pretty much on point. You had some dialogue and some connection and like character development between each other, I felt, and it was
Sure.
good. And then things just started to speed up, right?
Yeah.
The imagery was definitely. I hope they were
Loved
good
it.
for you guys. That they
was
helped.
great.
Loved it.
Mhm.
It was
One of
really
the
good.
things,
Yeah.
Especially the pictures of the rooms. I think they were really good.
Yeah.
Really
And
liked that.
for me, dungeon crawls and things of that sort in sort of the 4D style are still very new for me. I definitely enjoyed and
New for me
appreciated
too.
having the pictures there. It really helped out a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
No,
really
that's
liked
kudos to Crispy because
Yeah.
that's how Crispy runs his games, and
I really liked it. For me, it was
Mhm.
a big help. Like it was really, really a big help. Also, big help for me was the wizard. So Junior, the way you were describing the
yes,
tattoos
Yeah.
glowing and the
I love
cyan
that,
colors of like,
dude.
Well,
love that.
I did that because I just didn't want to be like, yeah, magic missile, magic missile, magic
Yeah.
missile. I'm like, okay,
I
how can I
bolt!
make
loved
the
it.
same
Lightning bolt!
attack different every time?
Yeah,
Maybe it's
Yeah.
the arching of the hand, it's the twisting of the fingers, or the
was
glowing of the
good.
tattoo. Or
It
I
it
just
felt
love the tattoo
very
glowing.
it
It's
felt
kind of
very
the barbarian side of things.
yeah, no,
You,
totally. It felt kind of
it-
Fable when you were
yeah,
talking about
Yeah.
slamming your hands on the ground.
I love that. Oh, totally.
I was envisioning that that was the imagery in my head when you were describing your spellcasting was like off the charts. Like
I
you did
loved it.
awesome with
Oh,
that.
Too good.
You
That's,
did
that's
awesome
my
with
first
that.
time playing like an actual wizard.
Oh, it was
Dude.
high. It was
Dude, you're a great
highlight
wizard.
for me.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
You're a great
the
wizard,
highlight.
man.
Blowing smoke up my butt now.
You're a great wizard, dude.
Yeah, we are.
Great wizard, man.
Stop before his
Totally.
ego gets too big. He'll be just
Yeah.
like the father.
But no, awesome. Yeah, no, that was great. You guys did awesome. It was so fun to watch you guys play. Second ShadowDark game, second time jamming in a while. This was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, it's
buddy.
good.
more to come.
good.
More to come.
More to come.
Totally.
And we need to get you in the player seat too at some point
Yes.
here. And
Yes,
Absolutely.
It will happen. It will happen here soon. I did want to mention. So I was kind of throwing little hints about my guy. The fact that he's wearing this heavy coat in an oppressively hot jungle. He's got the glove on one hand.
Yeah.
His eyes changing. So I wanted, and this may have been a little bit preemptive, but my idea going in was that he was going to be like a kind of like a Yuan Ti sort of person, or like a half serpent kind of deal. So
Like
like
I
as
was,
he's
like I-
getting as he's getting more hurt, these aspects are revealing themselves about him. So like he took off the glove and had the scaly hand.
That was cool.
I probably
Hell
should have
yeah.
said something whenever Kurlask pulled me out of the pool. Like,
Right.
he's pulling me by my cloak, so that should be clear.
Mhm.
Bald
See,
head, scales, that sort of
scales.
thing.
So
But
speak. No, that scene was just hectic in my head.
yeah,
Because it's funny, like doing 4D and trying to stay true to the module, you do put yourself up against challenges. And
Yeah.
to me, that's fun. Like I like to navigate the challenges. I'd rather not throw them out the window. It's like, how can I make this work? How can I make this work? Right. So like that specific room, the offering room, I hope like in the beginning, I wasn't sure I was getting my point across of like what the room was with the barrier of water.
yeah,
It might, to me, I felt like I wasn't expressing it correctly, but what it was just a room that once you entered it, the sensation of being underwater, that's all it was in the module. That's all it was in the module.
Mhm.
Sound and light, refraction, and all that stuff. But the statues with the offering. There was an offering for that, spoilers. And you did make the offering, but it wasn't enough initially. There's an amount that it requires. Crispy striking it, angered whatever's going on. More came in.
I was trying to break it.
Sure, yeah.
You had to pass. I think it was a 15 or an 8. No, 15. Let me see. You had to pass an 18 wisdom check for the offering. If you passed it, you got the ability, and this was something I was trying to figure out. Well, how am I going to do this in 4D?
Yeah,
is grant you the spell wish. Because you get
oh,
the
no
spell
way.
Wish. You grant
Holy
if you
crap,
do it,
dude.
you get the spell wish.
Dang.
And but if you fail, if you fail it, you try and you actually are you lose control of your body for 1d4 rounds, and you rolled, I think it was a 2. So between the 2 rounds, as soon as you got there, I pulled you out. Essentially, I know I was controlling your body, which is not what we do. But in some sense, that's kind of what had to happen.
I think it's totally fair, though. I think in that kind of thing where there's an identifiable force, even if we don't understand the force, there's an identifiable force within the world. It's totally fine. I don't think it violates any of the principles of player agency and character autonomy that we have. If the evil deity seizes control of you and says drown yourself, like that, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
My only recommendation, and I know we got to wrap up here.
Yeah, no, give me it.
The only recommendation I would give would be to simply, for me as the player, would be to say, hey, you're compelled to drown yourself, and just leave it at that. And if I'm not getting it, be like, there's a
drown
pool
yourself.
out there.
Fair enough. Yeah. To me, it's fun. It's fun to navigate the rules outside of our play style, because these are things that we don't typically dabble with.
That's true.
And at least lately, and now coming in, and I know Zonalar did. They did their 5e game, and I know they were navigating all these kinds of rules. And this isn't 5e, but it's very similar in a lot of ways. But it's exciting to see. How do I role play around this as a player, and then as a GM, how do I convey this? And it's all experimental. It's all, hey, how do we make this work? Because a lot of this stuff is designed for video game stuff. That's what modern games are. But at the same time, we make it work, and I thought it was a fun scene to watch unfold.
Doing another one, honestly. I think this is it's an interesting, like you say, it's an interesting way around it. I'm not familiar at all with the modules, so for me, it's all new, and I think it works.
It's crazy because there's so much stuff that's hidden in these dungeons with the modules. Like for instance, there was that you guys obviously wouldn't have known unless you passed it. And one of the things that I wasn't sure how to handle, was knowledge checks. Still, to me, that still feels unnatural. I know we did a lot of knowledge checks, and I was like, shit, how do we convey this to not sound lame, right? I was navigating that I felt I did it kind of poorly. So I got to give that some thought now for the next game. How do I navigate stuff like that?
It comes up a lot. I was thinking about sharing my thoughts on this, but it does come up a lot. We should probably talk about it. See what's the best way of doing
let's definitely talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then for instance that room with the where you tried to drown yourself. The leeches in there. There was, and this is funny how they design these dungeons. There was a passageway deep at the bottom that led to a loot room. Who's gonna know to go down there and do that?
Well, and I kind of had a thought. I was like, okay, well, the pool is probably deeper. Something's coming out of it, or
It's funny. I as I'm going through it and learning the rooms, I'm like, who's gonna in their right mind go submerge themselves in this water? That grate that was down there led to outside the ziggurat. So, who's gonna go do these things?
I'm in full plate, man. I'm not going in anything above my weight. I'll drown.
And while I was putting these rooms together, I was trying to think to myself, how am I going to describe someone swimming through murky, deep water? Second of all, getting ravenously attacked by leeches.
It's crazy.
So, anyway. But anyway, the good times. You guys did fantastic. Sorry you died. Welcome to ShadowDark.
I die in every game.
Yeah, that's
ShadowDark. And to all the viewers out there, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be doing a lot more ShadowDark and other games.
Yes.
So go check out Tablerunner Crispy's channel at Tablerunner Crispy. I'm going to link them in the description. There are a lot of awesome, amazing content. Crispy's got amazing stuff. And so does Uriah Edwards at Uriah Edwards. Go to Uriah's channel as well. There's a lot of great UNPCs every Friday, right?
Yep. Every Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
Right.
Fantastic. So check them out. Links will be in the description. And Avery, again, it's always a pleasure, bud.
It's good to be
man.
here.
You're great.
Yeah, you're the MVP in this one, man.
MVP.
Totally,
I'm
yeah.
gonna start calling you like Tablerunner Jr. from now on.
Yeah, he's
Tablerunner
Jr.
Jr. There we go. Crispy
He's the
Jr.
MVP for
Yeah.
sure.
That's what I'm just gonna call you that. So, all right, guys. signing
For
off.
the
See you next time.
record,
Uriah.
sorry, one more thing. Had
Do
we made
it.
it all the way to the end, I would have slaughtered you all and taken all the gold for myself.
I figured as much. I knew it.
It was coming. It was coming.
It's coming.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Signing off.
Peace and God bless.